What is up, fight fans? Boy, did we have another good fighter reveal. Plus, after the fighter reveal, the developers did a Q&A on the Discord where they answered a bunch of questions, and we definitely got a bit more info on the game. So I'm gonna go ahead and quickly recap the fighter reveal, tell you about this new info, simply because I'm just this excited about this game. Without any further ado, this is Edward, and you're watching Boxing Fanatico. Okay, let's just quickly talk about the fighter reveal and how amazing this roster is. And if anyone at this point is saying that Fight Night had a better roster, you are gravely undercutting the amount of effort that was put in acquiring these fighters. By the way, the fighter announcement hit me with a punch in the face again, as their first person that they mentioned was Lomachenko. That is criminal to start the show off with Bud Crawford in the first fighter announcement reveal, and then Lomachenko. Another amazing one was Maidana. They had both Eric Morales and Marco Antonio Barrera, which was shocking. I wasn't even thinking about them, but I definitely wanted them in there. In terms of the females, they blew us away because they were able to grab up Clarissa Shields, and they blew me away. I don't know how many people wanted this girl, but I definitely wanted her with Sinisa Estrada. So I was super excited to see her. I did want to see Amanda Serrano, but you know, there's still a possibility for her to be in there. But this is setting itself up to be one of the best games, period. Sergey Kovalev also announced, and there's something about fighters that I've never seen in a video game being in a video game that makes it that much more more interesting for me, more like a bigger thing to me, because of the curiosity of just seeing them being played as a character in the game. But this has crossed that threshold, because let's not forget the legends of Toro Gotti, Mickey Ward, Joe Frazier, Sugar Ray Robinson, Jack Dempsey, Jack Johnson. You know, let's not forget all of the legends that they have in here, and all of the people that they've already announced, plus these announcements. This is shaping up to be an amazing roster and an amazing game, because they're focusing on gameplay. Also, keep in mind, get ready, because at any moment I may have to drop a video, because in the coming days, as per Todd Grisham, he said that there's going to be a major fighter announced. Now, this fighter is so big that he wasn't put in to this fighter announcement reveal. He's going to be revealed all on his own. That's how big of a fighter this fighter is. So that's huge, which makes me, and you have to think about the logistics. We got already Lomachenko in the reveal. We got a Bud Crawford, who's arguably the #1 pound for pound, or #2, depending on who you ask, in the reveal as well. But they got their respect. They were the first ones put in there. So with that being said, it doesn't seem to me that, for one, it'll be any YouTube boxers. If anybody has that idea, I think you're mistaken. I don't think it's going to be like an Errol Spence, because I think that will fall in line with like a Lomachenko, a Terrence Crawford kind of tier in terms of the shock value that you would get from that fighter. So in my head, it could only be a few people, a very short list. And in that list, I would say Canelo Alvarez, because he's the biggest draw in boxing right now. Floyd Mayweather Jr., because he's one of the most popular and well-known boxers, or former boxers, in the world. And he's notorious for like not being in games, and there's just a big thing attached to Floyd if he was in it, even though he's not currently boxing. And of course, Mike Tyson is another person that I would say would be big enough to warrant their own reveal. So just keep that in mind. Someone is going to be revealed. Is huge, and in my opinion, it could only be one of those 3 people. Anybody else, it would undermine the what they're doing, the whole hype up for this one person. So just keep that in mind, guys. But then we're gonna move on. Oh, and one added note. I was actually in the fighter reveal video with Study, with King Juice, with Showbiz the Adult, and Showbiz the Adult's reactions were literally one of my favorites because he was just screaming everywhere. But it's super entertaining, and yeah, it was cool to see me, and I was not prepared. Therefore, in my live stream, my frame was in the same frame as the last one, so I had to kind of move it just to see the other ones where they had me in there reacting. But super excited. But now let's talk about the info that was dropped. There was some info, so I jumped into the Discord. Yes, I'm incognito. I'm hidden in the Discord, but I said, you know what? We're in exciting times. Screw it. I don't care. Let's go ahead and talk to the devs and just kind of reveal myself. So I went in there, I spoke to the devs, and I asked them questions about the referee, and I asked them questions about clinching. So the answer that I got back was incredibly satisfying, because the developers, Aimbot, if you know about the Discord, if you know who Aimbot is, he responded. Now, nothing is set in stone. They haven't integrated anything yet, but they have plans and ideas. And I asked, what's the level of integration that we will have the referee be in the game? Like, how far? Is it deep, not deep? Like, is it just going to be cutscenes and stuff? He said no. They're planning to have him, for example, stop the fight in real time, to check to see if you have a cut, and then when he goes to the point where he's checking to see if you have a cut, then it will flip to a cut scene. But in real time, it'll stop the fight. They want to have him break fighters up in clinches in real time. So not a cut scene or anything like that, just a real time come break people up. And then also they talked about the clinch, and they're trying to make the clinch system very, very deep. So I cannot wait to see what that is going to look like. And also someone asked about blocking. He was very upfront about how he doesn't like the up and down system, because just up and down is a 50-50 and boxing is not a 50-50. You can punch around the guard. You could do so many different variations of getting through someone's defense. And that is 100% true. You can. And if you take away that 50-50, you definitely make it more skill based. Somebody's gonna have to be a little bit smarter than just, press the block button and you're all set. You have to figure out where the punches are coming and read your opponent to try to figure out where those punches are coming. So they said that we will be pleasantly surprised by the defense mechanics, but they don't want to dive into that just yet. But we will be pleasantly surprised. So I took that as it's not going to be a dumbed down, just block up and block down. It's going to be a much more varied and it's going to require more skill, and it's going to fall more in line with simulation. So these are the little tidbits that we've gotten. They've answered more questions, but I couldn't really remember all of them because I was in there. I was also like trying to write things down and do things because just after the fighter reveal. But it was still incredibly cool to have them do this. For all of you that are saying, wow, they don't give us, like, they're not giving us anything. And these are the most engaged developers I've ever experienced in my life. For them to just do a Q&A, like, and it's not like we're chatting or we're typing, they're talking. They're allowing people to come in, speak through their mics, and they're talking back through their mics. It's just a phenomenal communication that they have with the consumer or the future consumers of the game. So yeah, just basically wanted to recap the night. It was incredible. It was fun. It was amazing. For all of you that just cannot, come to grips with this roster has now eclipsed Fight Night Champions. Let me just say it. The roster has now eclipsed Fight Night Champions roster. And that's just the cold hard truth. That was really the only kind of olive branch that Fight Night Champion had, so that you can say, well, at least they have the roster. Now they don't even have that. So apparently Fight Night Champions at this point, once that game releases, if the game is as good as advertised, would be obsolete, in my opinion. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and hopefully you guys enjoyed that fighter review. Please stay tuned, because they're going to do a major fighter review, and if they're going to do a premiere, I'm going to go live on YouTube again. And also tonight I go live on Twitch, so if you want, go ahead, link is in the description. Go ahead and follow me on Twitch. I go live at 9 p.m. Eastern time up until 12 a.m. Eastern time. I'll see you there, guys, and for now, I'm out.